Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing 1118 of One Piece. If this is your first time on my channel, or you've been here before but haven't done so already, would greatly appreciate it if you could like, share, subscribe. Would mean the absolute world to me. Doing my best in this thing, so thank you. Anyway, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck, keep it a bean. I am dead doggone tired. I'm still getting used to my summer schedule, so I'm gonna keep this review really short. I'm gonna hit the key points, and so I apologize if this isn't quite the length that I usually put out. And who knows? For those of you that know me, I like to ramble, so I've said this in the past, and then like the video came out the typical length because I just couldn't help but riff. So that might happen, but we'll see. But this is most likely going to be on the shorter side. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get in the review. Okay, chapter 1118 of One Piece, Being Free. Something I want to start on before we move into the review is I have two theories on the whole what Vegapunk was trying to say. It could be anything, and these theories are something I thought about that day, but I didn't really get to talk in that video. So if you've heard it from someone else, I apologize. I'm not trying to jock anyone. I always try to give credit where it's due. But besides him saying what the D is, what the D means, one theory I have is inside every D member lives the will of someone else, a lingering will. If you've been familiar with my channel, this isn't the first time I've said this. And so that's kind of what I think is going on. And part of why I think Blackbeard can wield two devil fruits because he's aware that he has a second soul or will in him, and that allows him to have two devil fruits. But I'm being speculative. So, one theory I had is Vegapunk was saying that in all members of the D clan, they have inherited the will of some other member of the D clan, right? From the past. My other theory is he was maybe saying among you is an imposter, a traitor, and that would be Blackbeard. Because at the end of the day, the people with the will of D all want one thing, and that is freedom. But how they go about that freedom is vastly different. You have Luffy, who has, he's a little bit chaotic, but his freedom is rather harmless. But then you have Blackbeard's, whose freedom is more anarchistic and just destructive, right? And so I'm wondering if there was a point in the Ancient Kingdom where it wasn't just the Ancient Kingdom versus the world government at that time, but you had factions and there was a schism. There was the D clan and the whatever became the kingdoms that became the world government, and there was a schism between the Peace Mains and the Morganeers. The Peace Main D tribe members are all kind of like Luffy that are happy-go-lucky and not happy-go-lucky, but are more peace-loving, more chill. And then you have the more Morganeer types like Blackbeard, and so there was a schism. They had problems, and because of that, I think both parties, both elites of their party, had access to the ancient weapons, and maybe part of that betrayal was some people siding with the bad half, and it might have something to do with like why there's Lunarians. Maybe there's people that are Solarans or Solaris. I'm riffing, I'm spitballing, but like I could definitely see something like that happen because Oda loves his parallels. He loves his callbacks. He loves his microcosms. We're seeing it with Skype and Jaya. We've seen it with Alabasta. We saw it with the Rebellion. So what if you just take and piece together everything we've ever seen in One Piece, from Skypiea to like what the civil war that was happening in Alabasta to the shit that was happening in Dressrosa, where they tricked the people into thinking their king had turned against them, had betrayed them. Maybe Joy Boy didn't actually use the ancient weapons, but whoever lived to tell the tale wrote down like, nah, it was Joy Boy, and so we're being lied to. So I think if you just take everything we know about the world, all the lying, all the miscommunication, the misinformation, you might have a small picture of what happened in the ancient kingdom, because at the end of the day, what happens? History repeats. So maybe all the things we're seeing now happened on a much larger, grander, extravagant scale back in the day. Anyway, let's actually get into this chapter. So we have them escaping onto the giant ships. Luffy's super excited. He sees Oishi and Kamo. I always mess up their name. Kashi and Oimo. Kashi and Oimo and Kashi. There we go. Now we see Bluegrass and Doll and the sea giraffe have been turned into children, which I find rather impressive, because this is all happening after we got the exposition that Devil Fruit abilities won't work on you as long as your haki is strong enough. So we're either finding out that Bluegrass and Doll's haki isn't that strong, and I highly doubt that's the case, because we just saw them do tremendous, phenomenal feats of strength and power. Now you could attribute it to just their devil fruits and who they are, but I think that they are very proficient in hockey. At the end of the day, they're vice admirals, right? And so I think this is just a weird way to show that Juri Bani is like that, and she has sufficient hockey to do that to them. So, or maybe we'll see them next chapter and they break out. But I do think it's very interesting that they were turned into children, right? Now we just have I'm just going to rush through this part. We have a bunch of, we just have the Straw Hats talking to each other, communicating. So Luffy and some of the Straw Hats are on the giant ship right now. The rest of the Straw Hats are on the Sunny right now, jumping off. And while all that is happening, we have Mars heading for them, trying to destroy them. And, while that's happening, Luffy is in the Giant's kitchen, getting his grub on, trying to fuel up to get back into the fight. And I think being rescued by the Giants is absolutely perfect for him, because they are going to have giant food anyway. They have to have enough food to feed a bunch of people their size, and Luffy has an appetite of a giant. So this is phenomenal for them. And I just think it's kind of hilarious and funny how, despite being giants, he's still surprised by how much Luffy is able to eat. And he was like, I didn't expect you to eat all this in one sitting. So I thought that was kind of hilarious, right? And so anyway, Mars is attacking, and we have a bunch of the, giants protecting the ship, but they're saying, the fire is too hot. They're not going to be able to maintain it, right? And so while that is happening, Luffy talks to Bonnie and says, you should do that thing again. And she's like, I don't know if I can do it. I can't do it again. And Luffy is just like, oh, by the way, after Luffy comes back into Gear 5, she calls him Nika, to which he's like, once again, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is, but whatever. Anyway, you should turn into that form again, and so we can fight them. And she's like, I don't know if we can do it. And I've been waiting and anticipating this moment for such a long time. Now, this went far above and beyond what I thought was going to happen. I thought she was going to, make a part of herself bigger, or maybe turn into a giant. I didn't know she was going to go full freaking Gear 5 Sun God Nika. So now there's 2 Nikas, which is going to be the title. And I just love how that sounds. 2 Nikas. So, find 2 Nikas and roll up. Anyway, it's incredible. This is going to be life-changing. I can't wait to get to Reddit. I can't wait to check out Tekking, Morge, and all the other YouTubers' thoughts on this. And just the community as a whole. I can tell this is going to cause a schism, like I said earlier, but with the One Piece community. I feel like some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, some people are going to be like, what the fuck? I know a lot of people thought Juri Bani was going to join the crew. If she does, how is this going to mess with the power dynamic of the crew? How is this going to play into the series? But I always knew that she was going to be able to achieve something akin to this, simply because we were told that it's about belief, right? It's about belief. But now that she has met the sun god, this mythical thing that she only ever had faith in, but now her faith has been I don't want to say restored, but vindicated, showcased, validated. There you go, verified. There should be no room for doubt, and clearly there's not, as she was able to do this. And I cannot wait for next chapter so we see her and Luffy kick some ass and see, what ability she has. Is it going to be the exact same as Luffy? Is it going to be a twist on Luffy's abilities? How is she going to fight? What can she do? Does she have a heartbeat thing? Is she going to have a timeout because it's going to be taxing on her? I cannot wait. The only other part of this chapter I want to talk about is the Iron Giant, right? And so we see the Iron Giant just kind of drowning and like, sinking in the water. And the whole time he's just kind of having these like sad thoughts of like, where are you, Joy Boy? Like, I can't find you. Like, I thought you were here. I thought, things were going to be okay, right? And then once Luffy and them activate Gear 5 again, and you hear the drums of liberation, and all of them are like singing and dancing and like, yo, let's go get it. Which, by the way, I can't wait to hear it in the anime. I haven't seen like anything from like Wano up, but I can't wait to hear those drums of liberation. I want to hear how loud they are, how like boisterous they are. The way Dory and Bragi are talking, it sounds like it's a club in there. Like they're so excited, and also it seems like it does have the ability to cheer people up. I'm not sure if it's working extra on the giants themselves because they actually grew up with this lore and stuff, and so like they know this. They either know this beat, they know this song, or they're just like grooving to it. But they seem to be like really really into it, right? And so anyway, like I said, the Iron Giant was sinking. We also see, I think, the Denden Mushi that was inside it, fritzing out. So now that there are two Nikas per se, maybe it's going to grant the Iron Giant extra power. Maybe the activation of Gear 5, maybe turning into Nika, maybe the drums of liberation are somehow able to power this Iron Giant is what got it up and going in the first place. Now that there's two of them, it's going to have double that energy, double that power. Who knows? I'm spitballing, I'm speculating, but that would be really interesting, and I can't wait for the Iron Giant to come back and join this fight, because as we see the Iron Giant fall, we see that it is freaking massive. It is freaking massive. Like we are, and the giant ships are massive. This whole thing is like on such a massive scale of sheer ridiculousness. Okay, because we literally were just told during the battleship bag thing about how big the warships were, and now we see how small they pale in comparison to the giant ships, and now we have the Iron Giant that is like as big as like not as big, bigger than this ship. So good freaking lord, that's insane. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk. Oh, also we go throughout the world of One Piece, and we see different people's reactions to the news. Some people's reactions are more interesting than others. Some people are asking the real questions like, hey, this whole thing is because of Vegapunk's death, right? So who killed Vegapunk? And you have people that are automatically going, well, obviously the world government, right? And then you have people like, well, they released in the news earlier that he was kidnapped by Straw Hat Luffy. So maybe Straw Hat Luffy. I loved how Leo was one of the ones that said, and then you just see freaking Scarlet or Rebecca. I forget which one's the mother and which one's the. I think it's Rebecca. You just see her like look at Leo like come on, dude. Like this entire hilarious. We love their gullibility, but I also like to think about it as a way of actually like. I think there are other people in the world of One Piece that actually might believe this propaganda. And so maybe wherever Luffy goes from now on, we're going to see people, people are going to take a side. You're going to see people that are going to side with the world government. You're going to see people that are going to side with Luffy. And people that are going to think the world government killed Vegapunk, and people that are going to think Luffy killed the world government, right? And so the Gorosei have York check to see if any of the other satellites are alive. She informs them about who's still connected to Punk Records. They let them know that Punk Records has the ability to continue to work after their death, and that they don't really need the rest of them. They're superfluous. All they really need is York. Awakens, like they're like, Luffy's back. But when he turned Gear 5, you have the likes of Zunisha. You have the likes of the Iron Giant. You mean being like Joy Boy. So if Luffy does contain the spirit, soul, will, lingering will, what have you, of Joy Boy, that is what these people are reacting to. This is the voice of all things that they are reacting to. So there's just so much going on, and I cannot wait, because I know Oda has planned this forever, and I just cannot wait to see how he seamlessly puts all of this together and gives us the information and makes us go, oh my god, we're fucking idiots. It was in front of us the whole time. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm not going to lie to you. This review was very manic. If you made it this far, you're a real one. You're a homie. I appreciate you so much. Leave me a comment or whatever so that in the future, if I like get super famous or blow up or whatever, I will remember you. I will hook you up because like, yeah, this review was a little bit of a mess. I'm like, But like I said, I made myself a promise. I got to get these reviews out, and at least I want to keep some semblance of quality. And I think I was able to maintain that. I just think I was a little bit like spastic. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I promise to do my best in the future to not only improve the quality of these videos, but be very consistent with how I deliver them and have few and far in between like videos like this where I'm like just rushing and just trying to like get content out because I never want to be like that kind of content creator. Anyway, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys very much. It's me, your boy, your host, OD. Take care. Peace. Have a great weekend.